What's up? What's up? How y'all doing tonight? Hey, I just had to pop in for a minute. I just had to go live to say that being from North Carolina, everybody knows J. Cole dropped the fall off. To me, it's one of the best albums. You know, I like albums with substance, you know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is. Ironically, today I'm talking about the tale of two Simbas. And it's funny how that had played out and how it happened. And I sat back and said to myself, I said, I'm probably the only one sitting around probably thinking this. But as far as myself, I sat back and I laughed about it. I said, dang. I said, it's very funny that you know, right before the fall off drop, the other Simba dropped, I guess his critiquing of J. Cole on his Blizzard CD, and Cole had made the statement, you know, I'm like your daddy. I'm like your father. Forgive me, And it's funny to me because, Cole been working on his album for a minute, you know what I'm saying? And he ended up dropping it, and that disc came out right before, the album came out. And me being who I am, I always analyze stuff, you know what I'm saying? And the minute that I heard, I'm still, I love her again. I think that's the name of it. My bad. My mind is racing 100 miles a minute. But anyhow, when I heard it, I was like, immediately after I heard it, I said, man, he calling hip hop an old female, And one dude that sat back and called hip hop, everybody's father, that's their father, That goes to show you that everybody don't look at stuff the same. You know what I'm saying? So the disc was like, it would have been a good disc if the album didn't come out. Because old boy looking at hip hop as his daddy and Cole looking at it as old trifling B. A bride that you can't trust, you know what I'm saying? They lie all the time. And that was so funny to me when because, to each his own. We all got our MCs that we like. And I love Cole. I've been loving Cole for a minute, you know what I'm saying? I've been proud of him. My people is from, well, you have Fayetteville. And then right below you got Rayford, and there's a little spot called Arabia up there, right above Rockfish. My kinfolk is from that area, you know what I'm saying? And it's like you be proud no matter where, somebody come from, but it's even more, you make you even more proud of when it's, from where you at, you know what I'm saying? Just like the baby, he represents Charlotte. I love the way he represents himself, you know what I'm saying? Cause he keep it a buck, but not knocking my man out over there, you know what I'm saying? But the truth be told, nigga, you probably should just let it slide or whatever. But I noticed that a lot of those guys, they aim to try to get attention. And that was just might have been some attention you didn't want at the wrong time, you know what I'm saying? So my man said that, oh, it's our father, we the father, hip hop is father. And J. Cole said, nah, that's old bitch. She lied to everybody. And that was funny to me, that's just my analysis on it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, other than that, though, I think the Fall Off was a damn good album. I really do. I think it was a very good album. And I'm so proud of Cole for doing what he did by pushing it, and I just enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. But 99 Bill, that verse that he did about Jeffrey Dahmer, I think that was like one of the most significant lines ever. You know, it hit different. It just hit different to me. You know, I was like, oh shit, I said Cole really ain't, he's not giving his all to everybody, and they don't even know this. When they hear something, they just want to critique his stuff and try to talk, all this stuff about him. And it's like, I don't even think he giving the people what they think they getting. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's giving them like crumbs off the table. He ain't gave the cake, but other than that, I really enjoyed the album. And not to take nothing from Kendrick. Kendrick had a good album too, and I'm not going to put them two against each other because I feel that they are brothers. They really are brothers that got that one friend, and one like, man, he ain't no good. And the other one like, man, just give him a chance, But through life, sometimes you find out that that person try to tell you that you know something, and sometimes it may go the opposite way. He's not bad. He need help, man. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm going with it. But other than that, I was glad to see him. I mean, I didn't get to see him when he came to Charlotte. I wanted to see him. I actually really wanted to see him, but I was running behind on a lot of stuff, Wifey wasn't feeling good, and I just wasn't able to interact with the city like I wanted to. But I catch him. I see him. When I say I'm gonna see somebody, I see him. So I'll probably see him sometime soon. Um, but yeah, it was a damn good album. I really did like it. I listen to guys that's been rapping for a long time. Even some old heads that they were just so upset with Cole for apologizing. But when I look at it, I said, damn. I said, Cole took the man way out. I said, these niggas like little boys. They do you know how much how much energy it takes to apologize? Do you have any idea what it takes to apologize? You putting everything on the line, like your pride and everything else. It takes a lot to do that, man. It takes a lot to do that. But most people don't understand, what it takes because they're boys. They haven't came to that thing yet. And I always, from where I'm from, you can't like sit back and be jugging people all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like you sit back and like, he ain't gonna do nothing. He ain't gonna do nothing. He ain't gonna do nothing. And then when a Negro snap, you got some hellified problems. You don't know what to do. I mean that's where I come from. I come from a place like that. And can't nobody tell me that because I'm one of them niggas that done snap before. But with all that being said, man, I can't tell y'all to lighten up on Cole. And I know Cole probably ain't gonna say things that his fellow people out here say. I'm gonna say it, y'all shut up. Just shut up. And I ain't too much worried about you, you know what I'm saying? I ain't worried about not even a little bit about you, 'cause, I mean, what you gonna do? Nothing really. There's nothing you really can do. But it's just amazing to me. Like I said, when I looked at that, I said, Dad, I said, the timing on that right now. I said, oh boy, I'm gonna get him on the day before he put his album out. I'm gonna rain on his parade, and then he go on. Yeah, I ain't gonna let you. Marvin gave me and all this shit. He going on this shit, and then you got Cole come out. Yeah, man, I'm chasing this broad and shit. Trying to get to know her, this, that, and the other. Just letting you know how it is, hey, when she done moved down to the A and shit, you just running it down to, you know what I'm saying? And I was sitting here looking like, damn, nigga, bad timing on that comeback you did on Cole looking at her as a bitch. Your daddy a trainee or something. What happened? It just amazes me, man. But I'm so glad that he did it the way he did it, man. He stayed in his own lane, without having to diss nobody and, have to do all that for somebody to look at you. You gotta do all that, boy, you desperate in a motherfucker. In my eyes, you desperate as hell. You gotta do all that. I remember when I was younger, and I was in school. I was a young lad. I was in school, and man, I remember they told me, yeah, man. They said this dude, they gave him a piece of candy. What he gonna do to me? You know? And yeah, well, cause you give him candy, boy, you tighten him up. He jumping around and shit. He just jumping around like he gonna do something, you know. And this nigga done pulled out. I forgot what it was, a butterscotch or a damn peppermint. I don't know what the hell it was, but he pulled it out and he took that peppermint. And I seen him. I watched him as he slowly put that piece of candy in his mouth, like he going to get hyped to tear me up. As soon as that shit hit his tongue, I ran back. Sit down. And they ain't moved. That's all I'm saying. Y'all better leave Cole alone. But he ran back and smacked the candy out your mouth. Y'all might want to let it go. Real talk, man. But yeah, you know, I really do. I really do, and really do enjoy the fact that he dropped that album. Though, you know, all jokes aside, it was needed, man. I have to say this. There's been a lot of people that come out with music. We've been listening to music for a long time, but I think Cole is probably the last breath of hip hop. Not taking that from nobody else, but the art of hip hop, I think he's the last one. No matter how much everybody hate him or try to make him look bad because he apologized like a grown ass man, you know, because it didn't sit right with him. I ain't never known that. You know, that let you know how fake people is. You know, I can't believe he apologized. Nigga, real niggas don't, it's like, man, that ain't even me, cuz let me get out of here. Shit. It wasn't even about keeping no peace. He was like, man, you a good MC, man. Why I'm gonna come at you like that for just because everybody else talking that shit? That's boy shit, man. Let me get back on my man shit. You know, and as you see, when he got on his man stuff, all the boys, you know, all they oh man, go, he didn't go. Man, that's the ones you smack the candy out the mouth. You know what I'm saying? You smack the candy out the mouth. Shit. You know, excuse me, y'all. You know, but I'm just saying, man, that, you know, I just had to get on here and get it off my chest because I sat back and said to myself, you know, I had a lot on my mind. And you know, that was just something I felt that I need to get off my chest. Shit. You know, I don't care nothing about y'all, you know, sitting back, get mad. Cause I may say something about an MC someone. I ain't worrying about that. If you throw a rap about me, I got somebody I call him like, man, you know I don't rap. Would you handle this for me? You know? And I'm willing to bet you he would drag y'all ass in the mud. There's a lot of people here in North Carolina that could rap their ass off, man. Seriously. But I ain't gonna get into all that. I guess the next phase, because I guess the other thing, I know I should put this with Cole. No disrespect, Cole, to you at all. You know, no disrespect to you at all. No disrespect to North Carolina, you know, at all. But, you know, no, I'm not even going to do this video with that. I'm not even going to put that with that. That's how much respect I got for you. I have to do another one, you know, because my personal preference on how I feel about something, I don't want to tie that into you, you know, while I'm talking about you. But this is the tale of two Simbas. You know, our Simba and y'all Simba. Y'all Simba look at that shit as his daddy. Our Simba look at it as an old trifling hoe that ain't got right, you know. But, you know, I still got love for her. You know, she a good head. Man, I ain't gonna hold y'all. I just had to get on here and just take a little bit of time. I ain't been able to get on here lately because I've been under the weather. Family been under the weather. Been busy at the same time. But you know, I just got on here to chit chat with y'all, you know, about the two Simbas. That's all. You know. All right. Y'all be good.